Hey guys, welcome to the Blue Bridge, not Burton Borders like I said yesterday. Welcome to the Blue Bridge. Today I'm talking transfers and today I'm talking defenders. And could we be seeing a former Chelsea defender return to the Blue Bridge? Let's get into it. Yeah, so second video of the day. I don't usually make two uploads, quite busy these days, but the news is coming in. When the news comes in, I'll try and report on it. And today the news has been dominated by our search for a new defender. We've had some mixed reports about Fofana, because the manager says he may be out for the season, whereas Fofana says he's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. So maybe it's because they wanted him to have an operation. Maybe it's the fact he's not having an operation. I don't know. But there is conflicting reports. But even if he does come back, is he going to be relied upon? Because his injury record isn't great. So even if they feel that it could be 4 to 6 weeks, the club probably not confident that he's going to last the season. You know, we've seen that with Lavia and Reece James when they've come back and have been injured. So the club don't want to be caught with their pants pulled down. So they are looking at alternative defenders in this window. And there's talk that they may let Disasi go. It's not good enough for this club, I don't think. So there's talk about him going. He's got suitors in Italy. So the two defenders that there's 4 defenders actually. Aruja at Barcelona, but I heard yesterday that he's from the horse's mouth, him speaking to the press, that was not telling me, that he's looking to extend his stay at Barcelona. Jules Koundé, that's someone who we were close to getting under Thomas Tuchel, and that story always resurfaces. I'm not sure if that's lazy journalism or whatever, but every time we're linked with him, I think every single window. But the two interesting ones are first Marc Guehi. And Marc Guehi, he's somebody who we had at our in our side. We sold in 2021 for £18 million to Crystal Palace. When Roman Abramovich was in charge, when Tuchel was our manager, and we sold him then. And he was close to joining Newcastle last season, where they quoted 70 million. I think Newcastle were, I think they bid 3 times. I think they were close to the 70 million, but it was Marc Guehi who turned down the move. And he decided to stay on at Crystal Palace. But the interesting thing is, with Chelsea, he's got 18 months left on his contract. So that means that because it's 18 months, the 70 million which was quoted last year, because obviously his contract is running down, I don't think Palace in their right mind can then ask for 70 million. So a deal roughly around the 45-50 million mark, I believe, is what they may ask for. And what makes it even more interesting is that we've got a 20% buy-on clause. So if they sold him to another club, we would have got 20%. So if they're selling him to us and we take that 20% minus the 20% that they would have given to Chelsea, I think a deal can be had round about 40 to 45 million for him. So that's probably, and if we do get him around about 40 million, say, Trevor Chalobah is wanted by Crystal Palace, 20 million. So we'd have bought him for 20 million. We sold him for 18 million. So we're kind of basically getting our money back. So we kind of loaned him out for 3 seasons and getting our money back on him, if you want to look at it that way. But there was talking about Trevor Chalobah. Sorry, there was talk about bringing Trevor Chalobah back from our loan spell. That's another option as well. But for me, I just think that's the way of Chelsea of playing a negotiation deal. Whereas, you know what, we really want Marc Guehi, and if we don't get him, then we'll call back Trevor Chalobah. So whatever happens, then Palace are going to lose a defender. So I think that we're kind of maybe calling their bluff on this one, saying, look, you keep Chalobah, we get Guehi, who's going to be going anyway. But at the end, sorry. at the end of the season, because I don't think Palace are going to wait for him to run down his contract, so they will have to send him at the end of the season anyway. So I think we're putting pressure on them by saying, look, you know, if you don't give him to us this window, then we'll just recall Shalabar, and then maybe going for him next at the end of the season, where he'll be even cheaper with 1 year left on his contract. So that's just me sort of playing guesswork on this one. And our fan base, some of our fan base, they don't like former academy players. I don't know why, because it's kind of mixed as to what some of our fan base are really excited about him coming back, and others are don't want him back. I like him as a player. If he comes back, I'm not going to be too unhappy about that. Okay, the only thing for me is his height. He's 6 foot. I'd like to see, with our troubles, especially from set plays this year, we are not a very tall team, so a commanding defender. But mind you, we've got Tosin who's 6'4", 6'5", Baddy Shield is 6'3", 6'4", and still haven't been great, especially attacking corners. He's quite good in the air, although he's 6 foot. He's got a good leap, and he's decent in the air. So sometimes I said you don't have to be the tallest as long as you've got a good leap. And he's got leadership qualities. He was captain in Crystal Palace at 22, and we're lacking leadership qualities. And the other thing is he's 2-footed. He plays on the left-hand side for Crystal Palace, but I think he plays on the right-hand side for England. With Cowell and him, and with him being 2-footed, he's good. He can defend the wider areas as well. He's very comfortable in and out of possession. And he's a very composed defender. We saw him for England. He played all the games, I believe, in the for England in the Euros, and he didn't put a foot wrong. So, and as I said, he's an ex-Chelsea Cobham boy, so he knows the club inside out. So he doesn't need that settling period if he comes back into the club. So, and he's got unfinished business at Chelsea. So, you know what, I'll be okay with this move. But for me, yeah, I do believe that I know we've got a lot of defenders, but a few of them are not very good. So I think that can help us, a defensive acquisition. But for me, the two pressing positions I keep going on about is CDM and striker. CDM, if we can recall back Santos maybe, but up front we do need a different type of profile. There's talk, the other news today was that Nkunku, there's suitors, I think there's from PSG are his biggest suitors. I think there was talk about Bayern. That doesn't make sense because they're quite stacked in that 10 area at the moment, and the other one was Atletico Madrid, and again, don't know whether that makes sense. Makes more sense PSG. He used to play for PSG. They can do with a player in that position, that creativity and the goals that he gets in that position. I do feel sorry for him, as I said before. He's been misprofiled at Chelsea. He doesn't really fit into the way that Maresco wants to play, and Maresco is not playing him. He's just giving him cursory minutes at the end of games. So if he's not going to be used, if that profile, he's too good a player to be sitting on the bench. So if he does go in this window, then it's priority that we need to get in a striker, even if it's a lone striker for 6 months until we can get our number one addition. But I'm looking at Nottingham Forest now, who are joint second with Arsenal. And they've got somebody who's consistently putting the ball in the back of the net. He's maybe having a purple patch this season, but he's ended last season quite good. But Chris Wood, he's somebody who's strong in the air. He's a good target man. He gives them something different, and we just don't have that with consistency at the moment with Nicholas Jackson. And he's not a out and out pure striker. He's more of a fluent striker. As I said, he's good for what the way we play, but we don't have that alternative when we're getting crosses in, the Neto crosses and Sancho crosses. We don't have that instinctive striker like a Chris Wood who can put the ball in the back of the net. So if we can get that profile to come to us, and that's to come off the bench or to start games sometimes against these low block sides, then that will give us a better balance to what our squad is at the moment. So those are the stories. So what do you think about the Marc Guehi situation? Are you happy for him to come back for Chelsea? Or are you one of these guys who think that there are better defensive options out there? Stick your comments in the section below. And don't forget, as always, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications to be notified every time I make a new video. So take care. Bye-bye.